So why would I do a review of Flight Risk when it's so delayed and all that stuff? It's just, well, look at the filmmaker that has made the film. Mel Gibson. So I walked into the movie theater and did not expect this. It was empty. I recorded a live commentary. The only time I would condone this is when there's no one in the theater.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
That's real.
It's not very convincing of a moose.
The selling point of the film is Marky Mark.
Yeah. You can feel it, baby.
He's on the poster. They don't even showcase that he has a bald head in the film. And he's not even the main character of the movie. He's relegated to being tied up in the back of the plane most of the movie. So it's disingenuous to showcase him on the poster. He is a supporting character behind them who is taunting them the entire time. Hey!
Hey, come on back here. You want to be the husband or the wife, huh?
Ah! And that's it, basically. He doesn't really provide a lot of conflict aside from the beginning of the film. So in that way, it needed to showcase that more so than it really does. The best example of a film that does do this is Red Eye. That movie does it in a way that is creative, productive, intense, and consistent in a way that is engaging. Cillian Murphy in that film is excellent. And they even sold the film in the trailers as a romantic comedy. Nicely done. And then subverts that midway point into showing that no, this is actually a thriller.
So what do you do?
As fate would have it, my business is all about you.
And he is hijacking the situation and holding the main character hostage.
You tell a flight attendant and your dad dies.
With Flight Risk's trailer, they promise that he's going to be hijacking this plane, but the execution of the actual film doesn't do that. The guy is relegated to being tied up in the background. He manages to escape a few times, but that's pretty much it. It doesn't serve much consequence or effectiveness to the plot, and thereby it renders it uninteresting. Topher Grace is miscast in the movie. He's basically playing the same character that he did in that 70s show, only 10 or 20 years older.
Stewardess, is there a meal on this flight, or is it like just...
Shut up, Winston.
Snacks? Yeah, okay, just snacks.
They should have cast someone like an Eldon Henson or a Dylan O'Brien, someone who could convey drama in an appropriate way. The way that Topher Grace delivers the performance, he actually mitigates the situation in a detrimental kind of way.
Fuck.
What?
Michelle Dockery is the main character of the movie, and she's okay.
Are you sure?
But they could have actually cast somebody who was better for that part. Someone like a Michelle Monaghan. She could have conveyed something that would have been deeper and more sympathetic and more likable. Or even somebody like Evangeline Lilly. How many movies do we have in the pop culture that are about planes that get hijacked, that are thrillers? Well, you got Con Air, Flight Plan, Air Force One that are like the mainstay. Those are the movies that did it best. And this is a film that is trying to piggyback off of that, and it just doesn't do it as well.
That's a shame.
Like, Marky Mark, I'm gonna just call him Marky Mark at this point. At the beginning, Marky is already too attentive to Madeline, the main character. It becomes suspicious. If she had any skill to her job, it would set off alarms. Even though she's been doing her job for 8 years, they should have made her a newcomer, someone who was recently promoted and assigned to field duty. I mean, she can't even secure Marky Mark when he's tied up. He gets out like 2 or 3 times in the film. That's why you need a likable actress to compensate for the shortcomings of a character. Right, what else? At one point, the plane literally takes a nosedive and she kicks Marky Mark out of the way and kicks him back into the fuselage in a way that actually defies gravity. The whole time we see him saying and threatening, I'm gonna kill you, this is my job. Okay, so something needed to change in the narrative that forced him to keep them alive. And so therefore, his entire taunting, when he's tied up, it's not as interesting.
I don't know about you, but I just made a Jackson Pollock in my pants.
His character has nothing to lose. The script needed to provide something that would make it so that he did have something to lose, and in which that would create some stakes.
Buying me about a steak, huh? You buying me about a steak?
That would create some drama, some dynamism to the movie. In terms of dialogue, there needed to be spots of in-depth talk that related to life and death, a philosophical conversation. It's similar to what Collateral did.
You just met him once and you kill him like that?
But I should only kill people after I get to know them? What do you care? Have you ever heard of Rwanda?
Yes, I know Rwanda.
Well, tens of thousands killed before sundown. Nobody's killed people that fast since Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Did you bat an eye, Max?
What?
No. I offer one fat Angelino and you throw a hissy fit.
Instead of it being filler dialogue, it needed to become weightier and more significant. The dialogue as it is clunky. Aaron Sorkin has spoken about what makes dialogue great.
It is musical. Anytime that you're speaking out loud for the sake of performance, those words, what you're saying, have all of the properties of music.
Rhythm, beats, rests.
Exactly right.
There's no musicality to the dialogue in Flight Risk. It needed that because it is so damn dependent on its dialogue.
That is correct.
Given that it is confined to one location. The most absurd dialogue that I witnessed. When Madeline started conversing with a pilot over the comms, he asks her out on a date within a minute of talking to her in a life and death conversation.
Airspeed is at 120.
120 at 3,000, roger. And what are you doing after this?
Excuse me?
Myself? I haven't eaten all day.
You want to have dinner with me?
Yeah, if you insist. I mean, we should probably focus on landing first. Your paying, though, seems only fair since you asked me.
Of course.
What the hell is happening?
That is a verbal commitment, and I'm going to hold you to it. Okay.
What the fuck, Mel Gibson?
It's absurd how that plays out. It's unnatural, it's contrived. In terms of cinematography, it's routine and uncreative. I love that they used rear projection for the exterior effect. I bet it was really fun to shoot. But it could have used the sensibility of Tony Scott. The movie Unstoppable showcases the camera in which it's revolving around the characters a lot. It goes a little overboard, but I would have preferred that over what they did here. The movie ends with multiple characters gathered around an ambulance looking into it after the main character has dispatched the last bad guy. Crowd gathers, and they're just peering into the ambulance, and then it just cuts to black. Yeah, there were a couple instances, sadly too little too late, that did hit very well. Marky Mark stabbing Topher Grace caught me off guard and impressed me in the theater.
We're gonna get out of it!
That was good. It was good.
Oh, you know what? Let me get that for you.
Ooh.
The plane crash effects were done well. You know, Gibson excels in visual storytelling. He knows how to exhibit a situation without conveying dialogue. When you look at the movie Apocalypto, he does that. An entire movie that's just about a chase, and he was able to make a film that could translate to the entire world despite it being in a foreign language. That is the strength of Mel Gibson. It confounds me that he did this film. I don't know if he was trying to appease a certain crowd of people or create some cachet for his career. It's below his caliber of what he is capable of. Because I really do think that Mel Gibson is a masterful director. He's an underrated director. The tough aspect about this film is that it's a movie that is static. You have characters that are in a fixed position and they're having conversation, right? You know, there's a film that managed to pull this off. It was the Tom Hardy film called Locke, of a character in a vehicle throughout the entire narrative. And they managed to make a film that was still engaging, even though he's confined to the car talking to various people. So with Flight Risk, they should have been able to convey an interesting movie based off of having multiple people inside a small plane. It just made me just go cockeyed in my expressions about the movie. It's showcased in my live commentary.
Oh, I bet you still hear her scream, don't you?
Look, this is not Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter. Do you hear the singing of the lambs, Clarice?
There's a reason why the film came out on streaming so quickly. Within 2 or 3 weeks, they threw it on the streaming. I mean, at least they got a little bit of a box office draw out of it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. The only reason I wanted to talk about Flight Risk is because of the caliber of filmmaker that is attached to it and how he deserves better. And he can do better. Every other film that he's done, even going back to the first film, The Man Without a Face, is an exponentially better film than this one. I don't want to say that, but it is. Yeah, that's all.
I do this for fun, I do this for free. Titty twister, you like that?
Titty twister, you like that?